Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. And I'm your host, Randy Sharman. Our resident travel expert, Onanta Forbes, is still traveling around the South Pacific. So this week finds her on board Holland America's Zuiderdam. So in a few seconds, we'll get an update from her. Plus, according to Booking.com's recent survey, Toronto happens to be Canada's most welcoming city. So we'll find out what makes it such a welcoming place from Booking.com's Dani Musse. And Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions is also traveling this week. He is in Mexico, so we'll check in with him to get an update as well. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to discuss some of the travel news and travel trends. And I think the biggest travel news for her and the travel trend for her is cruising through the South Pacific. Hi, Onanta.
Hello, how are you?
You're still in the future, as I like to say.
Yes, that's right.
And according to your Facebook page that I've been following, you are on the Zuiderdam right now.
That's right. So this is one of Holland America's medium-sized vessels, and I don't know if our listeners know, they have different series class, and it was the first of the line's Vista series class, and it's a smaller vessel. It allows a more intimate cruise experience for guests, but don't be fooled. It still comes packed with a lot of amenities and for travelers of all ages. Now, I am fortunate to be traveling on a segment of their world cruises. It's called a Grand Voyage, and it's got 1,300 guests on board. The capacity is 1,900, so it's not busy or jam packed with people. It's really nice flow to things here. So technically, I joined in Sydney on February the 11th, but this is part of a grand cruise, and it started in Fort Lauderdale on January the 4th. So there have been people on board for 6 weeks already, and they've enjoyed different ports in the Caribbean. They've gone to different places in South America like Peru, Ecuador. They spent a few nights in Lima, gone into Galapagos and the Easter Island, which would be hugely amazing, into French Polynesia like Papeete and Rarotonga. And so they've had the opportunity to explore, and people are now, like, about 384 people came on board in Sydney, but most of the people will leave in Cape Town, but they will also continue onwards to Fort Lauderdale for about 130 days that they've traveled on. And this isn't the only Grand Voyage that Holland America launched this year. There's also a pole-to-pole Grand Voyage, which is about a couple weeks more in duration. So, interesting fact, so many people are repeat clienteles. Like, there are people that have gone on 7 or 8 grand voyages. So it's almost like their snowboard getaway, just like mine is, where they're escaping winter. They've created these relationships with these beautiful Holland America staff, and they like coming back. They get their food all made for them. Their room is clean. They can get their laundry done if they want.
Yeah.
So it's a nice opportunity for a snowbird getaway option. So when we left Sydney, we had a day at sea. So good just to relax, just to, get the orientation of your ship, see where things are, what activities you can do, and kind of just find out a little bit more. Wi-Fi is easy. I'm working remotely as I go on this grand adventure here. Easy to get Wi-Fi. I can do my calls from Wi-Fi streaming, or look into the different internet programs, and you're plugged in, absolutely plugged in. So don't worry about that. One of the, a few things that you'll notice on the ship. So this is an older ship. It was launched in 2002. So it's been around for a while. So, you might think, when you get on board, if you've been on a newer Holland America ship, um, it's been refurbished. Because it is an older ship and it needs to keep fresh with, with a variety of destinations and just the different needs of people these days. It's got lots of opportunity to when you're on board, as far as like doing different things. Like there's lots of entertainment options that you have, but it's not like every day there's something going on in the like as a Broadway show. They have nice little concerts with cellists or violinists. It's really quite nice to listen. They have good music on board. I'm a 70s, 80s, 90s kind of chick, and I like it. Like it's really nice. They have like the BB King's Blues Club, which brings you Memphis sounds. They have dueling pianos. They have pop music shows, classical music, as I had mentioned, and then stage performances as well. It did get refurbished in 2017, so you will see, the upgrades and such. But it does have some places where the vessel shows their age, like around the pools and so on. But you won't lack all the amenities that you want in a cruise vacation. It's a fairly casual ship, like particularly during the day where most people wear t-shirts and shorts. Most evenings, people are smart casual, but by no means dressed up. Men are wearing casual shirts and ladies are wearing dresses or pants and sweaters. So what we did yesterday, we visited Moreton Island, and it's the third largest sand island in the world, and it's only located 40 kilometers northwest of Brisbane. The island consists entirely of sand, and this is where you can go sand tobogganing down a dune, or you can go zip lining, you can go snorkeling around the Tangalooma wrecks, which is a group of 15 ships that are sunk in 1963 to create a breakwall for small boats dropping by, and also the wind, so it protects the island as well. And today it's like a home to an assortment of coral and tropical reefs, as well as regular visits from like turtles and dugongs. We went on a glass bottom tour yesterday, and we were able to go around the shipwrecks, and then we fed the fish so you could see them come to the boat and see a variety of different species. So it was really lovely. It was a downpour in the morning, so expect you're in the tropics, right? So you have to bring a rain slicker with you for sure, an umbrella, which is all on board. And if you are a part of the Grand Voyage, they gave you these beautiful little things as gifts. They gave you a power bank. They gave you a Holland America rain slicker, a hat, which was really good to have. So lots of little goodies along the way, as well as a great Holland America bag. I'm sure you have a selection of them. We could, put them on eBay and get lots of money, because they're they're definitely, things that people want. So yeah, it was interesting to see. Definitely nice to get off the ship too, because today's our day at sea, and then tomorrow we're in Airlie Beach, which is in the heart of the Whitsundays region. So we have the opportunity to relax, go to the spa if we want, go read a book if we want. Like, as I said, I'm working remotely, so I can plug in and chat with my clients and take care of them. So lots of options for people who are thinking of something different, something longer, but still being able to be accessible if you want it to be.
It's funny you mentioned that the Zuiderdam is over 20 years old now. I can recall when the Zuiderdam was first launched, because I was with Holland America, and it was a big deal for Holland America to launch it, because it was the first of one of their newer classes. And the clientele, I think, on a Grand Voyage, as you mentioned, that it's rarely is a Grand Voyage sold out. It might be sold out maybe in portions of it, but rarely is it. So it's not as crowded, and the clientele is a lot different, isn't it?
It is. There's a more mature audience because people have retired,
Hmm.
but there's also people, I would say, that are in their 60s and up. There are a couple of kids on board, but not a lot.
Hmm.
So, like for an example, they do have a kids club here, but they use it for like painting classes, which is quite fun. Um, but yeah, don't expect families to be on board. It is a more mature audience because they have the time and the money because
Hmm.
it is a longer cruise. So depending on your stateroom and different things that you add to your cruise, um, it's not like a 7-day Caribbean price point.
Hmm. And I seem to recall, I could be wrong on this too, as far as price point, and we don't have to get into dollars and figures, dollar figures, but in general, the cost per day, I think, on a Grand Voyage is less than it is on a 7 or a 10-day cruise.
Well, right, yeah, because it is basically prorated, and there is a lot of value to the money as well. So yeah, talk to your travel advisor because there there's a lot of competition in world cruises now in grand voyages, not just
Hmm.
with Holland America, but with Princess and
Hmm.
Oceania and different cruise lines. So you'd be surprised at what you can get for a longer duration cruise.
Yeah, and two, you can do it in chunks, like you mentioned. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do the whole Grand Voyage. You can do it in portions for maybe 30 days or whatever, 40 days or something to that effect.
Yes, absolutely. So my portion is 42 days. I think the first portion was around the same time frame. So yeah, again, and people don't know if they can like most people, you know, go on a 14-day cruise, maybe for the longest. So this is a longer time frame. There's more days at seas and more continuous days at seas, like in sequence.
Hmm.
So you might want to not do the full shebang right away and just see how you do.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned 42 days. You just started. So where are you headed? And we don't need a full breakdown. I'm just kind of in general where you're headed and what are you most excited to see?
Um, we're still in Australia for a couple more, like till the 18th. Actually, no, we're until the 20th. And we are going to Airlie Beach, and which is in Queensland, and then to Cairns, which is like the jumping off point for the Great Barrier Reef, and we're spending some time there before we go to Darwin. And then we have the opportunity, and this is where I really like. Well, I've liked everything so far, but we're going to Bali, Indonesia, and then we're going to Komodo Island, going to Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Seychelles, Mauritius, and then into South Africa. And you do have the opportunity for like overnight stays in like Sri Lanka. You can stay for a few nights or in the Maldives. So you can, if you wish, take a break and get off the ship at different points and have land stays. There's an opportunity where you can go into India, go to the Taj Mahal, then go visit Dubai, and then fly back to the ship. So, again, not just all cruising all the time. You have the opportunity to do little mini vacations within your grand voyage.
Nice. I have to ask you though, have you
Mhm.
got your sea legs yet?
Oh yeah, it's coming along. I had to admit, we tendered to Moreton Island yesterday and it was raining really hard. And so I put my sea bands on, man. It was rocking and rolling. And then when the captain does a review at the end of the day, and he was saying that it was because it's also a passage for like tankers coming from Brisbane
Hmm.
going onwards. So there's a lot of movement in the sea as
Yeah.
well, plus the wind, plus the rain. So he goes, it was one of the rockiest, tender um, things, which is good to know after the fact.
Hmm.
But they, you know what, safety first always. They wouldn't do it unless they could.
This is for sure. Well,
Yes.
being a, big Holland America fan, I am jealous,
Mm.
and we'll be checking in with you weekly to get updates on where you've been and how much fun you've had and how much food you've eaten.
Yeah, that we have to talk about.
Because the food is amazing on All in America, as many other features that they have. So we'll be following you on Facebook and Instagram and X. You can do that at Onanta Forbes. You can check out our website too, onantaforbes.com. Always fun to chat, Onanta. Enjoy your week ahead.
Thanks. You take care. Bye-bye.
Well, according to a recent survey from Booking.com, Toronto happens to be Canada's most welcoming city. So joining us now to share with us what makes it such a welcoming place is Dani Musse, Area Manager for Canada for Booking.com and a Torontonian. Hi, Dani.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I think this is the first time this year that we've gotten to chat. So is it too late to say Happy New Year? I don't know. I think it is. But anyways.
I think we are good. If we haven't did before, we can do it. Happy
All
New
right.
Year.
Checking out the results of this survey about the Traveler Review Awards, which come out every year, and one of the categories is most welcoming city, which we're going to talk about, but which is Toronto, by the way, which is the city that you're in right now. So you can give us an insider view of Toronto when we get to it. But I just want to talk about the awards themselves. What is the survey about? Who answers the questions and who gives out the awards?
I love these awards because this is the customer after staying in one of our accommodations. They review the accommodation and they talk to us how would experience, if they like the hospitality, if they had surprises in it. And every year we assess that and we give the award to the cities. We give the award to the accommodations for hospitality, best value. And this year, we were super happy to celebrate Toronto making one of the most welcoming cities in Canada.
Well, you live in Toronto, so I'm going to get an insider's view. So define what a welcoming city is first, and then tell me why Toronto is a welcoming city.
Toronto is a welcoming city for the diversity, the ability for you to explore multiple things in a day, and you can have a little bit of culture, museums, gastronomy, bite size of every single taste of the world, shop around, and you can even debrief a little bit and end your day with a nice view of the lake. You can have very family-friendly activities, romantic activities for couples, and you can also do a little leisure when you go for the city for business, but you find yourself having a little bit of fun in the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would think because a lot of people, I'm just speaking for myself though. So when people go to Toronto, that's what they do. A lot of it is for business, so they can kind of combine it, or they're just passing through at the airport on their way to another destination.
That's super right. The Pearson Airport is a hub airport, so it's a great way for you to come in and out of Canada. So it's very normal for people to stay overnight, just explore a little bit of Toronto, and from there go to destinations around. That can be the West Coast or just explore Ontario, go to the vineyards in Niagara on the lake, or go to Muskoka for the cottages. So yeah, Toronto is an important touristic place for Canada.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Tell me about some of the popular sites to see. I'm a sports fan, so the first thing that comes to mind are all the sports Toronto offers, especially baseball. There's hockey. There's CFL football. And soccer. So pick your sport, kind of, right?
That's right. And let's never forget, we have the Raptors there, which was...
Forgot about that too. Yeah. How could I forget about the Raptors?
And it is super fun to be there in the night of a game because they put the big screen in the Scotia Arena and you get to see from outside and celebrate with all the fans, the restaurants and bars all around for you to do hop and skips from bar to bar while celebrating, hopefully the Raptors winning. And Yeah, I have a great night in the city.
Well, is it better to stay right in the downtown area? Because I would think that once you're in the downtown core, where so much of the activity is in Toronto, then it's just easy to get around, right? You can either walk or take a short little taxi or Uber ride.
It's such an easy place to walk around. So downtown, you have all the shops and you have the attractions. You can go from neighborhood to neighborhood, as you said, getting a taxi, getting an Uber, or going using the metro system. But also some people prefer to be outside the city, close to the airport for, I don't know, flight reasons. And you can count on the app that 25 minutes you are from Pearson in Union Station, core downtown Toronto, where you can go to CN Tower, the games, the island, the restaurants. So it's a very welcoming place that you can walk and commute super easy.
And the waterfront is very pretty. It's been a while since I've been to Toronto, but the waterfront is very pretty, especially in the summertime, obviously. But tell me if there's like tours of the harbor front and Lake Ontario. Can you do like boat tours and things around there?
Yes, you have boat tours. Some offer dinners, so you can dine while you are just navigating the lake, which is a beautiful to do. Some have dance parties and they stop for a while in the middle of the lake, so you can contemplate the scene and the sunset. It's very welcoming for families and, of course, romantics. I've been once there and I witnessed somebody proposing to their partner. It's always a fun tour to do.
Now, obviously, Booking.com has a lot of accommodation options, but two of the places that stand out in the most welcoming places or the Travel Review Awards are the Le Germain Hotel Maple Leaf Square. I'm thinking that's close to Maple Leaf Gardens. No, is it? There is no Maple Leaf Gardens anymore, is there?
It's right there by the Scotiabank. Yeah, so you were right there close to the arena.
And then there's the Gladstone House. Where is that located?
That's a special one, and it's a very boutique hotel. Not very core downtown, but in 10 minutes you can be downtown. And there is a one hotel that's outside the core downtown, the Hotel X. It's right across the street from the Budweiser. And during summer, Budweiser is an open area for concerts. Beautiful arena, and from the hotel you get even to witness the concerts. I was there for the Killers last year. It was an amazing experience. And right across the street, so you leave the concert and you are all hyped and happy after seeing your favorite band, and you go straight to this beautiful hotel, can have a nightcap and go straight to bed. That is
very
just
nice.
Perfection.
Very nice. Well, let's talk about some of the events Toronto hosts in the summertime, especially.
Well, you have Caribana, which my Brazilian roots just adore Carnival in any shape or form. So I am a fan for Caribana. People all dressed up, and you have the parade and the beautiful concerts and music. That is a big one that I particularly enjoy. You have the St. Lawrence Market at every Saturday. Beautiful farmers market that you can go and taste different fresh foods coming from the agricultural areas of Ontario, and you spend a very nice morning there. And from there, you can just enjoy the old Toronto and visit the parks, where you can always find a nice spontaneous concert going on or activity open air. I adore those when you get lost and you suddenly find something super fun that is just happening. And the Kensington Market, that every summer they host this beautiful open air market that you can spend a nice evening there, just shopping local and experiencing the local flavors.
Very nice. So being a Torontonian, give me an insider tip for someone that's might be looking to visit Toronto, not just to pass through at Pearson Airport, but maybe spend a couple of days.
Let me think. I would say spend some time to visit the aquarium. It's a beautiful experience. You get to see, to see different scenes with all the fish and the sharks. Very fun to spend some time with family there. And this place is very close to the CN Tower, so a hop and a skip, and you can go all the way up to this extremely tall tower and see the city from a different angle that only the CN Tower can offer. and you treat yourself with a nice lunch in the CN Tower restaurant, which is the 360. And it rotates, so you get to have the city in different angles within 2 hours of a dining experience. Leaving from there, you can just cross the street. You have the steam whistle that can take you for a tour, and you get to see how they make the beer. And in the end, they have a happy hour experience, which is very fun for you to gather friends around and have some appetizers there. And you end the day, let's say, with a sunset by the lake, just debriefing the day and thinking about the following day. Following day, go to St. Lawrence Market and enjoy the local produce, take a little stroll in the old Toronto, do a little shopping in the Eaton Center Mall, and definitely, end of the day, drive yourself to the distillery, which is this area full of local shops and very fun restaurants where you can have a nice evening and very exotic area to be around.
All sounds wonderful. It's the 2025 Traveler Review Awards, the 13th annual, actually, and Toronto was named most welcoming place in Canada, and it wasn't because of your bias living in Toronto either.
It had nothing to do with it. This was the public.
Appreciate your time. Dani Musse is the area manager for Canada for Booking.com. You can find out all the welcoming places on the Booking.com website. That's the website, Booking.com. Thanks, Dani.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
This is the Informed Traveler Podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast. You can also email me, too, with any questions you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you want to get up-to-date travel info through the week or just see a few amusing travel stories and links, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/informedtraveler, on Instagram at informedtraveler, or on X at Informed Traveler. Plus, you can now sign up for our monthly newsletter. It's released at the beginning of every month. Our February issue is available now, so you can just go to our website, theinformedtraveler.org, click on the newsletter button, and it'll take you right there. Or, better yet, subscribe to it and have it arrive in your inbox every month. So now, as always, we'd like to end the show with our weekly roundup, and joining us to do that is Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions. Good day, sir. And
hello, Randy. Hello, everybody.
Well, tell us where you are.
I'm down in Playa Mujeres, just outside Cancun, at the Rio de Janeiro Resort with a good friend of mine. So we're actually celebrating last minute getaway. It's my birthday today.
Ah, well, happy birthday. What a great way to celebrate a birthday, I'll tell you that much.
It is.
You're saying you're at Playa Mujeres. Now I know there's Isla Mujeres. Is Playa Mujeres different? Is it still on the mainland, or is it actually on the island of Isla Mujeres?
No. Isla Mujeres is the island. You can actually see it from our resort. Playa Mujeres is the northern part of Cancun from the airport and from the actual city. It's a peninsula that kind of juts out that way. And it's really been developed over probably the last 7-8 years or whatever. I know the fellow I'm with, he was here when this just opened, and that was about 5 years ago. But great complex. There's lots of resorts up here right next door to us. Of course, they like to build side by side. It's the Rio Palace, Costa Mujeres. There's a Rio Latino. There's Planet Hollywood. There's Majestic. There's a Catalonia. There's just just like the rest of the areas. So hotels all up and down along the coast here. But a great little spot. Tons of families here. It's really a family-friendly resort, so it's working really, really well for them. We run into people from all over the place, from Argentina, America, Calgarians, some from Montreal. Again, just everybody's all here. It's a real popular chain, and they're really consistent in all the resorts. So if you stayed at a Rio before, you know what to expect and what you're getting. And this one's really, really nice. We got upgraded to a partial ocean view room, which has a great location and a great view. What else can I tell you? They got 4 pools altogether, 2 large size pools, and then 2 smaller swim-up bars with pools. all kinds of restaurant. We have Asian, Italian, culinary, beef, buffet, snack bars. Again, a fairly large resort. They're about 97% full, which at times you can tell that they're full because a lot of the beach shares and everything are all full and things like that or whatever. But
Hmm.
it doesn't seem to be like anybody's, really not doing without space or wandering around looking for that. Even in the restaurants, it never seems that they're busy, but you don't feel that per se,
Hmm.
for lack of a better word. It doesn't feel like they're being overcrowded or anything like that. So they also have a water park here. We've been down the water slides a few times ourselves, and they have a smaller area for the younger kids. Great kids club. Again, like I say, really what I call a great resort for families. As well as couples or just a couple of guys like we're doing. Whatever. But again, a lot of
Hmm.
kids, so really family friendly, and they do a great job with everything.
Hmm. Well, I was going to ask you how full it is, and you answered that it is. Looks like it's pretty full, but it is right in the middle of the high season, so I would expect that. And you mentioned the variety of food. What's the quality of food like? Is it? I've stayed at Rio's, and for the most part, the food is very good. I found.
The word diet went out the window on the first afternoon once we saw what we had for choices. Yeah, no, the food's been really, really good in all the restaurants we've been to. And again, say the buffet, really quite big, really good variety, and they keep making it fresh constantly. And no, so far no complaints about the food whatsoever. Like I say, diet is not a year word I'm using this week. It's to spoil myself, and I'll worry about it next week when I get home.
So now, have you ventured away from the resort, or are you pretty much hanging at the resort daily? Have you gone on
No,
any
we're
tours,
actually
any
pretty much just
trips?
staying. Yeah, no, we're just pretty much staying at the resort. It's going to be a chill week for us. But again, you can do all the different excursions to Chichen Itza. Again, Rio actually has their own program, which is called Rio Party. And we had one on the Wednesday night, which was neon themed. People in the lobby or whatever were paint facing. We even got our faces painted so that we glowed in the dark when we went to the party. On Friday, they had one that's called the Pink Party, where everything is pink, and that's at the Rio Caribe. And you can actually sign up and go to those if you wanted to from these resorts. They
Oh,
bus you
cool.
over, you go over there, have a
Hmm.
party, come back. Yeah, yeah. And they got another one, Jungle Party, and then they have a White Night as well. So, again, that's really, really cool. They got all the water sports. So you can kayak, you can hobby cat, boogie board, all those kinds of things right on site. No, it's a great area, and it's my first time up in the Playa Mujeres area, so I quite enjoying myself.
Well, it sounds like it. Well, you did mention the entertainment too. That's the other thing I found when staying at Rio. Their entertainment seems to be pretty good at most evenings.
Yes, and again, they have a wide variety. I know the other night, like I say, we had the neon party. They've had a Mexican night where they have the traditional Mexican dancers, everything like that. They had a classics night where they play all the old music. They've got a karaoke night. Uh, the other thing nice about this one too is it has a 24/7 sports bar. So if you're up a little bit later and want to go have a snack or whatever, a beverage, or watch some of the sports or whatever, they've got that. Again, it has it all right here. I'm really impressed because, like I say, I've stayed at Rios before, but this is the first time up in the area, and this is a really good resort. Definitely one I'd recommend for my clients.
So, how far is it from the Cancun airport? How far of a run did you have to do to
We
get
had
to
a
your
private
resort from the
transfer, and
airport?
it was about 45 minutes in the evening. Now, you're probably looking closer to about an hour if you're doing traffic during the day. We arrived late. We didn't get in until 8 o'clock at night.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit. It's a little farther up, and there actually are resorts that are past us as well too. So it is a little bit of a drive, but it goes fairly quickly, really. When you're excited and you're in holiday mode, you don't notice. I'll let you know after I go back to the airport how long it is.
And speaking of the airport, how was your experience just landing and going through customs, immigration, that
Customs
kind of thing?
immigration, really, really quick. We did do the visit tax online and had our QR code and everything, so we were golden, good to go. Uh, I believe it tags to our passport because we weren't asked for it. But I know I've talked to clients or whatever who were asked for it and who had been down here years ago, and they actually had to pay for the one for the previous trip as well as the one for this trip if they didn't have the QR code. So again, just a reminder: pay that visit tax.
Hmm.
It's not huge. I think it was about $20 Canadian or whatever, not a big deal, but it goes to fun things like the airport and the area and things like that for keeping everything up, roads, all that good stuff. So.
So, what's on the agenda for the next day or two? Just sort of relaxing by the pool?
Well, we're going back over to the water slides after lunch here today, but right now I'm just going to go back and sit in my chair. I've got my Kobo book. I loaded about 5. I've gone through 2 already, so we'll get through another couple.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your time down in Playa Mujeres, and we'll chat with you next week.
You got it. Thanks, Randy. Have a great week, everyone.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website too at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.